Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be getting this car ready to go to the track. So today is Thursday. I plan on making it to the track this Saturday, so I don't have a whole lot of time to do this. I probably won't be doing a whole lot of filming, and I already have done some stuff that I didn't film, but I will show you that. So one thing that I need to fix still is the transmission pan. So as you can see, I've got a nice little puddle down here. Some of that is, or was at least, methanol as well, because the fuel feed to the pump was leaking, as I believe I mentioned in the other video. So after that, I ended up remaking that line a couple times, or tried to. The second time I remade it, it still did the same thing. It just, it's like it was, the fitting was pinching the line for some reason and putting a little hole in it. So I tried to remake it again, and then the fittings, I couldn't even get them to go together. So I don't know if I just screwed that up or if I got a bad fitting or what, but it was Earl's Ultra Pro 16AN, and I ended up just ordering a BMRS line, Brown & Miller Racing Solutions. So they did some of the, or they did pretty much all of the 8AN lines for my fuel rails, and they did a good job on those. They basically have pretty much the same line as the Ultra Pro. So shout out to them. They overnighted me the fuel feed and another fitting that I needed. So I've got the fuel feed on there already. You can see down there. These are actually crimp fittings. So just like this one up here, and that is another one that I'm actually changing out. As you can see, it is at a pretty bad angle, and that was my bad for ordering it wrong. I ordered a 90-degree fitting when probably should have done a 60 or a 45, so we actually went with a 60 on the new line that I need to put on there. But I just wanted to show you guys how it's kind of at a bad angle. It didn't leak or anything, but it just didn't seem safe. So I'll show you that real quick. So as you can see, it's kind of pulling this line quite a bit. Yeah, these are some really nice fittings and lines, and you just give them the measurements and what angles and stuff you need, and they ship it out to you. So shout out to them for helping me out overnighting the fitting that I'm going to replace this with, and then the fuel feed. The fuel feed worked perfectly, and I expect no different from that line right there. So anyways, I'm going to get to work, and I'll update you guys along the way. Alright guys, so I got the new line put on there. As you can see, it looks much better. It doesn't kink the line like it did with the other one, so we'll be good to go there. Nothing to worry about anymore there. So shout out to Brown & Miller Racing Solutions for getting me these lines quickly, and doing a great job on them. Alright guys, sorry if this jumps around because I completely forgot what I said in the last clip. But I have the transmission pan back on and torqued down with a new gasket, so hopefully that will work well. I have the engine diaper started to put on, so that's good. It does look like it's going to fit well. I think I'm going to be able to get it on there without it getting into the converter bolts like it did on the old car with the old pan that I had. I had the Holley, I believe it's 3021 pan. It was the one that doesn't have the extra clearance from the bottom, but it does have the extra clearance for the crank, so you can have over a 4-inch stroke or whatever. But the last one that I had with that pan, the pan goes all the way to the back of the engine block in the back, and this Moroso pan doesn't. It has this little rail back here, so that gives it some more space. So with the last one, what happened was the converter bolts, the heads of them at least, got into the back of the diaper and ended up cutting the diaper up. And obviously if the diaper has holes in it, it's not going to work that well. So I wanted to make sure I avoided that, so that's the only reason that I got this pan actually. However, it's a nice pan as well. I believe it's Moroso 2042, maybe 2043. I will put it over the video since I can't remember. Yeah, I've got that on. Just need to put the fluid back in the transmission. I saved the fluid because it was brand new, barely used Hughes fluid, so put that back in there. I think I'm just about done under the car. I don't have doors, but Brennan actually has those with him, and he's going to meet me in Amarillo tomorrow, so that saves me a trip, so that should be nice. We'll grab those. The boost control solenoids, ended up finding out that it wasn't the solenoid. One of the wires actually failed from the solenoid. It broke the wire, so I must just have some cheap wires on there. So I'm going to repin those, and hopefully we'll be good to go there. I actually ended up getting the add solenoid to work by repinning it, and then whenever I did that, the vent solenoid ended up not working, and it had the same issue. So they just had some brittle wires, but that's not too big of an issue. Quick fix there. We'll be fixing that tomorrow as well. Going to steal some pins from Streetcar Joe, so shout out to him for helping out with that. Just going over things while I was putting the diaper on. I put a couple of the bolts on for that. I just bolted it to the headers. The strap is a ways down there, so it's not going to get burnt by that or anything, and just happened to, for some reason, decide to check the map sensor. It was plugged in, and turns out that I never actually tightened that, so it was just finger tight. I don't believe it was leaking or anything, so I don't think it threw anything off, but that probably would have became an issue, and I imagine that may have been a fairly hard to diagnose, really weird issue. So glad I found that. Make sure you check everything before you take the car out. Alright guys, so it is 4 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see, I'm not done yet. But even though I'm not sure how well sleeping is going to go, because I don't know if you guys get the same way, but new car, and also being over a year and a half since I've made a pass, nerves are going to be crazy, so we'll see if we can get some sleep. We're going to attempt to, and then we'll finish this off tomorrow. So I need to pin the solenoids for the boost control. We'll do that tomorrow in Amarillo. Brendan is going to help me out with that. He has the proper crimping tool. I need to throw the front bumper on, which won't take too long, and I'm pretty close to being able to do that. I believe I actually could do that next. Then I need to put the hood on. I did get my seat mounted. That took me a while to find a position that I liked the most. Still not quite perfect. Probably end up making some changes down the road, but it's pretty good, so should be good there. I did write a new tune for it. I hadn't made any revisions since that last time that I spooled it up, and yeah, so I also need to finish mounting the diaper. So a few things to do tomorrow before I leave, but shouldn't be too crazy. We'll see if we can get it done and make it down the track. So see what happens. Alright guys, so I got the bumper back on. It's all filthy. It was sitting out whenever it was raining just a little bit, so I'm probably gonna wipe that off, but I think we're all wrapped up in the engine bay, so I'm going to throw the hood on, and or at least temporarily just probably put a few of the fasteners on there, because we'll have to take it off when we get to the track to finish up the boost control solenoids, which will go right around there. So now also I'm going to swap out that line. As you can see, it got close to the header, but that was just temporary anyways. I have some nice black line like this stuff from Low Dollar Motorsports that I'm going to replace all this clear stuff with, so should be good to go. I believe I've got everything ready on the car, at least. Brennan has the doors, as I've said, so we're going to get all the tools and stuff together, put everything in the trailer, and head out. I'll probably do a quick little drive just to make sure there's nothing weird going on and it drives straight. So we'll do that real quick, and I think we'll be just about ready. Alright guys, well, driving around the neighborhood was successful. Probably successfully upset some people, but that's alright. I did melt a plastic line on the frickin' header because I'm smart and forgot that that was just hanging there. So, whoops, but that was one that was going to get replaced anyways, so no worries there. I have the fan on it right now just to see how it works while I'm waiting to load it up. And I have the water pump running, and it seems to be cooling pretty quick. It was 196 after driving around like that, which that's a good sign too, because that wasn't very, that was like a decent drive. So I think we'll be all right on temperature. But now it's all the way, it's already down to 172, as you can see. So I think we're gonna have no problem. So now I'm gonna get all the tools and everything together, put that all in the trailer, toss a hood on it, and then we will head to Amarillo. Alright guys, well, made it to Amarillo with the trailer behind us with the car in it, but unfortunately so did the rain, so not going to get to test today. They canceled it, so that sucks, but get to get my doors and get the boost controller fixed, so that'll be good. But we'll have to wait probably a couple weeks before I can make it to test again, so that sucks, but at least the car is pretty much ready to go. Alright guys, just wanted to show you a few things that I wrapped up on the car after we missed that track day. Well, not missed it, but got rained out, so I did a few other little things, and we're pretty much ready to go. I'm waiting on a few small things like the tap for the drive shaft sensor, so I can put that in there, and one or two little fittings that aren't 100% necessary, but yeah, wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that I did that I haven't shown you yet. So one of my favorites here, this Hughes Performance sticker on each side of the wing, the gold one down there as well, and nice big sticker right there. That was not very fun putting on, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And then the Streetcar Joe sticker, of course. He is the one that did the wiring. If you guys don't remember, I'm sure most of you follow him. So there you go, Hughes on the other side. And then I also, this is actually, I have it on 12 volt, but this car used to be 16 volt. And it had this window, this little deal in the gas door already. And as you can see, these two little ports here were for the 16 volt. That's where you would plug it in and charge it. And I was actually able to put this little connector for my 12 volt charger, which I have sitting right here. And I was able to tie that in, and I can actually just take this and connect it right there if I want to charge. Now, for example, the main thing I want to be able to do is to charge it in the pits. If I say, you know, want to leave the water pump on while it's sitting in the pits to help it cool down, I can do that. So of course the door is on it, and also this car is filthy right now, especially you can see right here, you can see the different colors in the paint from where it has all that junk on it from the downpipe. But another deal that I've made was this little line right here for the catch can, and yeah, that's pretty much it on the outside of the car. I made some tune changes as well, which I'm gonna see if they work the way that I intended them to. So an issue that I was having was with the mechanical pump. I made a table that modified the cranking fuel that would add quite a bit of fuel while the pressure was low, so it'd help it get started before it built up fuel pressure. But the issue was, once it did get started, that table wasn't in play anymore, and it would take it a little bit of time on the first start at least to build pressure up. It'd sit there and hold, you know, like 5 psi or so for a few seconds until it built up. So the car would run real lean and try and die, and closed loop would try and correct it there, but couldn't really do it. So I made another table that will modify the fueling based off of fuel pressure while it is running there for the first few seconds or so when it's trying to build fuel pressure. So we're going to start it up dead cold and see if it works very well. A lot of people will say that you need a primer pump for a mechanical fuel pump, but I disagree with that. Let's see if I'm right or not. Let me go ahead and just start this log over here because the dash is going to shut off whenever I try and crank it. So, alright, let's see if we can get this thing to start up very easily and stay running. So there we go. That started up pretty quickly there, as you've seen. Not too much trouble at all. It did have to crank for a little bit longer than you may have to crank a electric fuel pump car, just to get a little bit of fuel pressure going, but not bad at all. And honestly, that starts better than a lot of cars with electric fuel pumps that I've seen. And yeah, so I'm happy with that. Had to shut it off there quick before it suffocated me in this garage. Methanol fumes are pretty rough, but anyways, we're pretty much ready to go now. Just those few minor things that I mentioned, and we'll be ready to go to the track here in another week or so, a little over that. So I'm excited to try it out. It's been way too long, but super excited. So thank you guys for staying tuned, and we will see you on the track soon.